hot. I had some extreme mouse issues, like one of mouse issues. Not that type of mouse issues, but
I was say, whoa.
nah. I'll be having some moving issues if that
I'm about to
was
say, gotta go.
But it was this one, my battery operated, my OG. That one went out on me, and I thought it went out for good because I put new batteries in, and that shit looked like it was like still had to like, damn, you still using me
for a break?
Yeah, I don't know, like what 20, maybe 13, maybe 2013. This mouse 2013, not a desktop.
Damn, that shit almost 10 years old, bro.
Fuck.
Fucking mouse almost 10 years old. Bro.
Damn, man, he had. Damn, that was.
I didn't mean to date you on that one.
No, that was perspective for real. That was perspective. Like that's all we need sometimes. Ollie, you in here? Can you shut the door, please?
Yes.
Yeah, we got
y'all over there whooping ass.
We got young beings in the
tap.
Yeah.
First place was it? Yeah.
Shout out to Ali. He got second place in his weight division. Even they combined the weight division, so it was 75 and 85. And he was on the 75 side, and he still came in second place.
Came in second.
And it was the 85 pounder that came in first. Like,
what was first competition?
That was his first competition. Yeah,
okay, starting off strong.
He's starting off strong. Yeah, a lot of information and a lot of lessons learned. He pulled the triangle.
Yeah, sure.
He pulled a triangle in his first match. So
that moment,
bro, I wanted to shed a tear, bro. I wanted to shed a fucking tear.
That's real.
For real, like, cause this is just like, it was like right before the competition. That's when it seemed like everything started clicking.
Yeah,
so, clicking more than it did, and now I start seeing them moving a little bit better. It was good. It was good. We had fun though.
My bad. It's just weird to me out when people call me on Messenger, bro. Especially when you got my number. Like, if you want video chat, get an iPhone. It's that simple. Get an iPhone.
It's almost like that's like another layer of like knowing somebody or somebody being in your circle. It's just like, I would want to talk to you more if maybe you had an iPhone. Like if your bubbles weren't green, maybe I would be more.
I don't want
to respond. Like, I don't know.
I don't want to sit on Facebook and Instagram with you.
Yeah, exactly. Blurry ass camera and shit. Like, I don't
know why IG games and shit. Like,
I don't know why Facebook. It just seemed like it'd be a little bit blurry sometimes. Like,
camera be grainy as shit.
Everybody be trying to talk at one time and it just be staticky and shit. FaceTime, like, we all be literally talking at the same time, and it's like everybody in a room together, and you can almost damn near hear everybody saying. But let's get to some fights. So we hot, it's the RoundHouse RoundTable. We got Hot Take Rod in the building. Me, myself, Amani T. We in here once again. We want to chop it up with y'all with the Covington versus Masvidal fiasco, and we're gonna get into it. It's the RoundHouse RoundTable. We in here. Let's get it.
I swear my glow up in lightning. Hot, yeah, something like lightning. This shit a hit on my psychic. She want me lick, I'm excited. See, I feel that's my business, and that's why I'm business minded. Need a push, get behind it. It's a science, apply it. Worst come to worst, you tried it. Get it bad, get inspired. Shoot your shot, just the effort. I admire. You're hired, ain't looking for friends at this point. My circle is small as a point. Yeah, I'd rather send an invoice than hearing the fake on their voice. It sound like a business report. Don't fuck with the business.
One part of the RoundHouse RoundTable, me, Armani T, and I got my homie, my brother.
It's the ROD. Let's get it, man.
Let's talk about it.
Say please. That's one, please. Don't need no one. That's two, please. Don't leave.
It's dope that, like, now we starting to be able to make a little paper trail behind the scenes of, being on the mats, because, like, you could put hours on the mats and do whatever, but like now starting to compete and, competing with people who are, above my level,
Right.
You know, so it's just like at that same time and still winning, that's the time that we are in experience that we're able to contribute to here and grow our podcast. And you know, like, hey, it's the respect on our name aspect. You know, we can't just be talking that talk, not walking that walk. So
yeah,
I agree. We walking the walk. We tiptoeing the walk. we
as long as we're moving forward though. As long as we're moving forward though.
But we on somebody mat, and that's the important part of it. Like that's the biggest part I can say about anybody that's doing like any type of MMA coverage or anything. Like if you ain't ever been on nobody's mat or you ain't on nobody's mat right now, and you really talking that spicy shit, it's just like you got to know the respect behind it, you know. So just put some respect behind it, and we're gonna get into this no cap recap. Yeah, UFC 272, Covington versus Masvidal. This was what I expected. Everybody got what they wanted, for real. Like from the early prelims all the way to main card, like everybody knew what was going on. And if you went for Masvidal, then we're gonna get there.
You had a lot of money to lose. Shout out to your bank account today, because
no, my DraftKings was fucked up. A few guys fucked my DraftKings up.
Really? Are we gonna get
niggas? Didn't get Nathan.
Nathan? Not even a little breadcrumb. Like
no, with DraftKings, bro, you gotta be damn near spot on. Because it's a bunch of other people that spot on too, so it's just like, bro, it'd be hard. That's why I struck gold last time pretty much. I was spot on. Like I felt that one that last one in my soul.
Yeah, that was the core.
This one was hit or miss. Like I was like, please don't get caught, Kobe. Please don't get caught. Speaking of caught Kobe or Dustin Jacoby, I don't know how that worked together, but Dustin Jacoby came out with the W versus Michael Olenchuk.
Michael O.
You ain't even try. You ain't even try on that one. No, that was no effort. That was no effort. But unanimous decision. 29-28. It was just that fair. They were some tight judges. They was making things tight. Right. Because you know, a lot of judges, they can make it easy as hell and then make it a unanimous since all of them agree. Or all of them feel somewhat close, but the other ones was literally like they were standing on their own, like and having some wild ass numbers jump out. I
mean, it was some close fights though.
It was actually a good night.
Yeah,
it was a good night. I don't want to disregard that or make that not known, but it was a great card. Glad I purchased it for Kevin Holland's fight, but yeah.
Shout out to the kid.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Shout out to that man. Did you want to get into Tim Elliott or you want Umar?
Actually, I did want to get into that a little bit. Tim Elliott did his thing. We all knew what Tim Elliott was going to do. Tim Elliott was Tim Elliott. But I also saw some moments where Tagir missed some opportunities to capitalize on some positions that Tim Elliott put himself in. Mainly with the takedown. I've seen a lot of takedown opportunities that he missed, or coming out of the clinch, not being able to fully complete the takedown. They cut the camera to Habib a few times, and you could basically tell that the game plan wasn't followed. I just wanted to touch on that for a second, because that's one of the things that really stood out to me first, being that it was one of the first fights of the night. And then also, you don't really see too many Habib pupils and not really dominate, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of expect a certain level of dominance.
Yeah.
If Habib's in your corner, and I don't know if that's right or wrong. That's just the standard that's been set. That's the bar that's been set. So, you know, you got to live up to it if he's going to be in your corner. So I'm looking for Ulanbekov to bounce back with his next performance and get that back right. Because if it wasn't for him, Habib would have went undefeated again on the night.
Yeah.
Which he does often.
For Coach, yeah. But at the same time, it's just like Makachev lost fights before, you know. Like they all lost fights before, and it's just like but at the same time, it's just like once they start leveling out, that's when it's an issue. When they really start just going full steam ahead and just smashing motherfuckers, that's when it's an issue. When that shit start clicking. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Brian Keller, rear naked choke. I told y'all Umar got hands. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Brian Kelly, he didn't know what he wanted to do. He didn't know if he wanted to wrestle or stand up and fight. Because
Which he couldn't do either.
That's the hard part. That was the bullshit. But hey, shout out to Umar Nurmagomedov. Y'all got a problem. He's just going to keep going up. Brian Keller was a name now.
I was say he ain't no cupcake that he just did this to.
He was a name. He's a name. So y'all.
Yeah, that's a guy that got handled easily. Yeah, that fight was too easy.
So he's still leveling out to his competition level. I like the way he moves. Like he don't move like the other Nurmagomedovs. You know what I mean? So he's a little more fluid in the hips.
Yeah. He got a little bit more bounce to him than
just
straight stiff and jab, straight, shoot for the takedown. You know what I'm saying?
He got hands. He's one of the ones that got hands.
Yeah, I noticed that as well, for sure.
Kennedy Nzechukwu.
Yes, because that fight was an eye poke away from going the other way. It was an eye poke. Am I right? It was an eye poke.
Yeah, I mean, like it was close, but at the same time, you could see where Ankalaev kind of like put it on at the end and kind of pushed his way through.
But even then, I don't think without that point deduction, because he lost the point for it. It was 3 or 4 warnings maybe before that, and then he ended up getting them again, and the ref took a point. That's why I said he was an eye poke away from this being the other way, because I believe that point ultimately gave Ankalaev the win. And not taking it away from him, he fought a decent fight, but I just think Kennedy fought a better fight.
He eye poked my money away.
He eye poked. Sips tea.
Sips alkaline water.
Shout out to Mariana, though. This was one of those better fights, one of the better fights of the night. It was good to see her tested, though. I got tired of seeing her walk people down.
Second round submission, arm triangle. I love when the women really be hitting those submissions, because like when this guys, their legs be a lot bigger where you can't really see what's going on, but with the girls, the legs are skinnier and you really can see the technique happening. Like they really be getting it going. That's why, like, the respect. Now, since we already talked about the Kennedy Nzechukwu, he lost me some buku. Bars. Real shit. I was sick, bro. That was the only fight. Then Mariano Rodriguez versus Jan Zonin.
Shounin.
I
think it's Shounin. I can't help
You trying to get a nigga canceled. He's trying to get a nigga canceled. Oh, Lord. Mariano Rodriguez. So when it comes to getting like damage done, Rodriguez, she was put to the test versus Jan. And that was a beautiful thing, because I've never seen her hands tested like that. It was somebody who really was going back and forth with her. So it's just like it really put in perspective of like what's really going to happen when she's really up there with the dogs. She says she won a title shot.
Those are the type of fights you gotta go to have.
And and it's like well deserved. Well deserved.
Absolutely. She's been on the heater. She got next.
And that's crazy.
Had next. After Esparza and Rose get it on. Is it Esparza and Rose? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
After them two get it on, Rodriguez is next.
And the thing about it is like Rodriguez like just did it all without really using her feet. And it's just like using her footwork, but not using her feet. But when she get up there like with Rose is using everything. There's everything coming at her. So it's just like I just hope I think that she got heavy hands. That's gonna really where I might just end up, putting my money on Rose. I don't know. I'm gonna put my money on Rodriguez. Just that might be the hype train for me. That might be the hype train for me because
It's gonna be a nice little payout. She's gonna be a nice little underdog against Rose. And I'm not saying that's deserving.
You think so? I don't know.
I do. I'm not saying it's deserving, but Vegas is not gonna give her the love that she deserves.
I think so.
At least
you'd be surprised.
The initial numbers dropping. They're gonna have her down. She's gonna be. I'm not saying she's gonna be a super huge underdog, but it's gonna be more than what it's worth, what it should be.
Yeah, but Rose is like the fan favorite, so you know, she got extra points that's gonna be added on to, you know, her favorite.
Right.
And speaking of favorite, Jalen Turner versus Jamie
Bang.
Yo, now this is the fight where I'm like, okay, because you know, like when I see like fighters like Jalen Turner, you know, like the way they get in the UFC is because they get on a heater somewhere else, or they just see that they're super talented, or you know, they got a story behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But Jalen Turner now is just like still turning it on, like he's still knocking dudes out.
Mm-hmm.
And now Jamie Mullarkey, who is a problem, especially for the wrestling category. And what y'all need to understand is Jalen Turner took notes from Jared Cannonier. He listened. He really handled a wrestler. Every time he put his face down, he mashed his face up from the chin. He was mashing his face up, moving him around, getting him off his hips. So that was working for him. A lot of guys were getting taken down the whole night. And even after Cannonier fought, I was like, a lot of strikers need to take note. They have to take note to what Jared Cannonier has set up, the blueprint for wrestlers. How he handled Brunson like that. That was the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Jalen Turner getting them W's. Keep getting them W's. Next thing you know, you have a title shot. What, lightweight? Like he about to be really in the talks. Yeah, he's lightweight, bro.
A little too heavy right now.
No, he is lightweight, bro. He makes the weight every time. That's the wild part.
That actually is the wild part.
That's the wild part. So like in 6'3" or something. Like, his
reach is crazy.
Exactly. So
I think he got like a 70, 77, 78 inch reach, something along those lines.
Something dumb.
What power behind it?
Exactly. And a lot of times when it's the skinnier dudes like him, like Kevin Holland, like they know, just like a football player. Like a football player ain't no cock diesel dude, but he'll launch a football all the way down the field. They know those mechanics to the max where they can really get a whip off of their hand and really get a lot of leverage off a punch. Like what he did to Buckley, like put Buckley down like that. When Kevin Holland put Buckley down like that, that was one of them whip punches.
It's a technique.
Yeah, that you can't just have with short arms.
Yeah. No, it's a long arm punch.
It's a long arm punch.
It's a long arm punch, yeah.
Like catch him right on the end. Shout out to Jalen Turner once again. Spivak versus Greg Hardy. What the fuck?
Just hang it up, bro.
But I was smart though. Because I was about to go with Greg Hardy. I was about to go
You
with
weren't,
Greg Hardy.
You weren't, dude.
No, I was. I think even in my predictions, I said Greg Hardy. I think if you check the episode back, I think I even said Greg Hardy.
Let me not talk too much because I might have said Greg Hardy too.
But when it came to the DraftKings, I was like, hold up.
Yeah, let's be real here.
Let's be realistic. And I had to be real with myself. But
plus, it was a little earlier in the week. There may or may not have been something in our cup.
Yeah.
You know, so we should get a pass. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So y'all feel me. You feel me.
You feel me.
But Spivak, I didn't think that he had that, but at the same time, I knew he was more technical and he was more sound on the ground. And that's exactly what he did, was take him to the ground. And TKO, he had him in a fucking bad spot. It's almost like when you're a big dude, it's like you don't really get those opportunities get beat on like that.
Right.
So it's like when you get in those bad spots, you really look like a crying baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like head covered. Like there's so many techniques that he dismissed that could have got him out of that with him being straight down. Like there's things that you do, like there's a series of things, like in a sense of like baiting an arm bar or baiting something out there to get them to grab at something, even if it's a sense of a bump, like where you get a good angle, find out where they're light at and bump there. So it's just like it's a series of things that could be done. But if you in the first round, I don't hear exhaustion. I don't hear tired. You can't. Not hearing none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because like if you're doing 3 rounds, you already should just be still training 5. Fuck it. Just because.
Yeah, I completely agree. You should always be training 5.
Just because it's and then when you get to the 5-round fights, shit, it will behoove you. It will behoove you to do a little bit more, a few more rounds.
Yeah.
So I just think that Greg Hardy got outmatched. He has to do something more. Like he has to do more. It's almost like, I don't want to say he gave up, but it was really hard to watch. It was really hard to watch the end part. Especially it was like, oh, there's so many techniques and so many things to get done. But it's just like a lot of guys was like, no, I'm just going in and knock him out. Like, fuck.
And get knocked out.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland, man.
I want to see Greg Hardy. I want to see Greg Hardy come back. That's what I want.
I want to see Greg Hardy retire.
I want to see him come.
I'm tired of watching Greg Hardy walk out of that octagon after being woken up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wake up, bro. Go ahead, clock out for me. I'm tired of them scraping him off the mat, bro.
It's like the Overeem. It's like the Overeem vibe.
Yes.
The Overeem vibe.
Like, bro, enough is enough at this point, dude.
But I don't know if it's like that for Greg Hardy, bro. He just lost 2 back-to-back. Come on.
Was it 2 or 3?
I think it was just 2.
And then, but see, the thing about it is the way he lost.
I think he need to take it serious. I think he need to take it more serious.
When he lost the tie, mind you, he had just rocked tie.
Yeah.
He had just rattled that cage and turned right around and walked into a left hand.
Yes. And that's maturity. It's just like you learn how to gauge those moments when those moments happen. So now he's really learning how to gauge those moments, but at the same time, he's learned how to gauge those moments more. But now it's just like, damn, I forgot to add the ground part to it.
I mean, they made a good point. I'm listening to a lot of the talk in the pre-fight shows and all that, and they made a good point. Greg Hardy is technically still learning.
Yes.
In the job too. So we got to take that into account as well. So,
and he bold enough to go in there and learn like that. You know, that's why I was
heavyweight's a tough division. I mean, any division really is a tough division to learn on the fly, but especially heavyweight. So
facts.
I don't know what he gonna do
because it's like you got the factor of speed, stamina. Then you got to add more weight on top of that. So it's like more work you have to do for everything. So it's just like, yeah, you carry that weight around, but that is still mass that you have to carry around, you know,
in the fight as well.
Yeah, it's just like Kevin Holland is not carrying around 275 pounds, but there's men that's carrying around 275 pounds that have to still operate that as a human being. So it's wild that like when they get in those bad spots, sometimes it just be like, that's it. Because it's like, ain't no way that this is moving no more right now.
Yeah.
So I think they get bad spot. Speaking of Kevin Holland versus Alex Oliveira, 2nd round TKO. That's what he needed. Yep. I don't know if that was something that just kept him in the game for real.
Well, I think the move down to welterweight, first of all, kept him in the game because he's gonna bring that middleweight power down. So I think what we saw, what he did against Oliveira, we're gonna see that a lot from him and his division. On top of that, we're talking about an improved ground game, improved takedown defense. I could see him making some noise in welterweight. I like him at 170. I like him at 170 more than I did 185. And he was pleasant at 185. But I think welterweight he could be dominant.
185 show you like no, that was Santos. That's when he fought Santos. That was like catchweight. And 185 looks different. 185 looks like Cannonier, Brunson. 185 can look like from Cannonier to
Gaslam.
Literally
two different ends.
Two different spectrums. Like,
yeah.
So the move to a 70 was probably the move, especially I'm not seeing his power really translate differently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing it translate differently to where like it would look like it would be more power. But if he feels lighter, you say he said he didn't feel tired at the end of the fight. That's fire. That's awesome.
That's really awesome. Yeah.
Like just now it's just like staying out, being able to maintain that weight or get there when you want to get there and doing it in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like cutting that weight all the time is not always the most healthy thing. And like when motherfuckers need to cut that weight, they kind of do anything that they need to do to get that weight off. So it don't matter how healthy it is sometimes, as long as it ain't no illegal substance, then boom, back.
Right.
Go through it. Alex Oliveira, I do not know, bruh. I do not know what happens now. I don't want to say
go home. Just go home to the ranch.
Go home. All right, you can say that, but when it comes to the UFC, not knowing what's going on, I don't want to just speak out no shit, but I don't know. I don't know.
He might be done.
Speaking of, he might be done. Bryce Mitchell versus Edson Barboza. Nah, he was done.
This was the closest thing to an ass whooping that I've ever seen.
Oh no. Oh yeah, we about to get
in the
UFC. But Bryce Mitchell, what's irritating is like when he doing his promo run, and you hear him say he gonna slow cook guys, and then you see him in the octagon, and you just see him just melting dudes down, like
slow cooking the shit out of it,
just off the bone, like
constant pressure.
Yes,
can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh my god, and it's just like straight wrestling pressure. Like he's literally his hips is like damn near off of the ground. His hips is off of you, and it's all chest pressure and just head pressure all over your body and controlling you. He's elite.
Can't move.
He is.
Yeah, that wrestling is.
In UFC, y'all knew that shit was gonna happen. UFC, y'all knew that shit was gonna happen. Y'all ain't shit for that one. Because even with the hands, though, that's what was surprising me too. Bryce Mitchell was, catch him a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But when Barboza was landing them kicks, you could see that motherfucker was like, oof. He would just pick up another gear. He would have to.
He has to
wake you up.
Yeah. Nah, them kids they'll break skin easy.
And them motherfuckers was breaking and cracking shins. I was like, I can't do it.
All
I had to turn the sound down
that he landed.
Yeah, I mean,
he landed like a total of 40-something punches throughout the whole fight. That's
topping them shits. Because why do you think that
impressive.
Is? If you on the
ground,
he
can't stand up.
If you on the ground and you can't do shit and you just getting bowled and slow cooked, then that's what's gonna happen.
Catching a forearm right across the bridge of your nose.
What irritated me the most was that like Edson Barboza is almost like the way I envision his training is that he goes to his native homeland, he goes and trains out in the woods, and he's like kicking old trees and knocking them down, and he's punching at stuff that's in the jungle and shit. He's just punching that stuff and it goes into the gym that's outdoors, and he does only striking. And he says my grappling experience only comes when I need to grapple. That's the way I envision his training and his philosophy to it. Because bruh, when he on the ground, it's almost like he's just sitting there waiting until he can think about doing something that he's seen on Instagram. Because bruh, it's like when I seen him pull up that triangle real quick, and then he almost had it, but he just gave up on it. I was like, oh hell no. Oh, hell no. Somebody
You're
need
fired.
he need a jiu-jitsu coach or something. Some jiu-jitsu. They really need to just hard down, not fucking hit no fucking bag, pad, nothing. Just do jiu-jitsu.
Every time you walk into the gym, you should be on your back.
Exactly. Because when it's a fighter sitting there for closed guard, you just sitting there with your legs wrapped around their back, locked in. They're trying to get out and move forward past your knees, and you're not letting them. Okay, you're trying to stay safe. So that means that at this point, you're just collecting a check. You are collecting a check right now, and still got hands put on them, and that's what be making me think that like these young hungry guys is not about to play with these older guys and they close guard. So Bryce Mitchell, he did what he needed to do. I don't know what's going on with Edson Barboza. What do you think was going on with that? Just
a stylistic nightmare.
Exactly.
You found somebody who was going to be on you like white on rice. It's hard to kick somebody when that motherfucker's in your hip pocket the whole night.
Man.
You know, it's hard to throw a knee when he's just barreling down your back. So it was just a stylistic nightmare. I feel like the UFC handpicked and set this up for Bryce Mitchell. I feel like this win in the fashion that he did it in, it just adds to the story. Yeah. You could tell throughout the whole night, you know, the UFC likes this little story. You know what I'm saying? You have a farmer who raps and who wears camo UFC shorts. It's different.
They love him.
It's different, and they love it. So, shout out to him. Can't wait to see what's next.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see what's next. A fucking problem, and I think he's gonna get.
But I want to see what that chin look like.
Yeah, because
I want to see what that chin look like now.
Because Edson Barboza was touching him up too a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He touched him a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of touched a few times, Rafael dos Anjos versus Renato
Moicano.
And 25 minutes with dos Anjos. I don't know, bro. I don't know what to say. One, Rafael dos Anjos, I don't care what nobody's saying. He ain't get him out of there. If he ain't get him out of there, that's not the same RDA. He ain't get him out of there. That's not the same RDA. Renato thugged it the whole time. Like
on 2 weeks notice.
On 2 weeks notice. So yeah, it's just like there's different dogs in here. And he's still coming up in this shit. So it's just like that should not have been a good ass win. That should have been one of them wins where you like, oh, you excited, but once you get home, it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't finish that.
What you were supposed to.
And it's just like, they could think in their head all day long. I could have finished that. I could have finished that, but they didn't, you know? Yeah. So that reality is just fucking with them. Like that's a win. Like I'm not seeing that win for nothing. I'm not what does RDA get with that win?
Nothing. Well, I guess he still gets to sit at what, 5, 6?
He gets to stay there. So he just stayed alive in the rankings just by getting this short notice fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had to fight for it, but at the same time, like there was a clear like level difference. It was an experience difference that was shown, but the heart difference was definitely the difference.
Oh yeah.
RDA stood up and banged with him a little bit. The commentators were saying RDA is being such a nice guy for just letting him stay in here so long, for taking the fight on short notice. Shut that shit up. Shut that fake ass narrative up. No, RDA is just not getting him out of there because it's not possible for him to get him out of there.
Right, I'm about to say he's just not able to. Like, I mean, well, I don't know, but okay, but at the same time, I don't really know if I agree with that narrative because I'm looking at him in that 5th round, and up until the end, because Moicano started to catch him towards and started to touch him up a lot at the end of that fight.
It got bad.
But I do think RDA pulled off a little bit because I'm looking at it as, okay, I'm looking at the volume that he's putting out. I'm looking at the middle and the end of that 4th round. If you watch that fight in the middle and the end of that 4th round, you're thinking, all right, cool, RDA finna come out, kill him. Starts coming out, jab, straight. You know what I'm saying? Get on the bike. Jab, straight, get on the bike.
See, and that was because the ref, which I ain't never see a ref do, was like a dude looked like he was kind of dazed. He was like, all right, I'm giving you 30 seconds to do something.
Well, first of all, that fight should have been stopped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
as bad as he was getting beat, if he like, yeah, you could say it should have been stopped, but at the same time, since it was not stopped, and he said take those 30 seconds. The 30 seconds where I saw RDA really get on his bike was when he was waiting. It's almost like he expected Renato to come towards him full blast, 100% swinging at him. But the smart thing that Renato did was come in with a jab, 1-2, and watch RDA really get on his bike. So it's just like he stayed in it by applying pressure, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, had to go to the decisions. And Rafael, either way, he did his thing. Like the ground and pound was elite. The ground and pound was elite.
Yes.
The wrestling was elite as well. It surpassed the jiu-jitsu, but at the same time, the jiu-jitsu was keeping him safe and keeping him alive on the ground. For real, wholeheartedly. That's what I believe. Everything, like he was taking a lot of shit, but jiu-jitsu definitely held his ass down on the safe side.
Yeah, for sure.
So you ready to get into this, bro?
No.
You ready to get into this? We gotta get into it. It's the motherfucking the main event. The motherfucking main event. I don't really want to get into it.
I hate seeing this motherfucker talk.
Fight of the night.
I hate looking at his face.
It's something about his face.
All right, man. Kobe Covington won. Shout out to him.
So Kobe Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. Everybody was saying Jorge was gonna win. Like even the guys in my gym was talking about, like it was two guys. They brothers. They be in the gym. And he like, you know, the older brother came to me. He was like, who you think got it? I'm like, Kobe, you know. He's like, I think Jorge got it, you know. It's that big brother thing. It's the big brother thing. Like once you beat somebody's ass a bunch of times, then you know, it's the big brother thing. And I was like, okay, that's your mentality. Everybody is taking this to heart. Everybody is taking this fight to heart. They taking their personal side into this heart. Yeah. B telling me it's a grudge match, so she think it's gonna be interesting. She think Jorge got it. Not seeing it.
Not seeing it at all.
Kobe Covington is an elite wrestler who happened to have gained hands over the years fighting the number one welterweight in the world back to back. So it's just like, I'm not seeing where Jorge Masvidal really has
the chance at all.
You know, and it even from when it comes to like that the knockout sporadicness that he can knock somebody out. When it comes to that is a lottery ticket. But when it comes to Kobe Covington, that's a lost lottery ticket. Because it's just like one, you might get that one, but you will get that one and Kobe will eat it. That's what
I'm saying. His chin is impeccable.
The chin is crazy. So yeah, all that time you've been beating his ass, he's been building his chin up. And all that time that Kobe been training and keeping up with his wrestling, you've been getting endorsements. So it's just like we're gonna have to get some order to the wrestling. He was saying my wrestling was a little flat in the post conference.
Right, but you knew it.
The wrestling was not existent. It was not there.
It was not there.
It's not there.
You got on the ground, and I ain't gonna say you laid there, but my man, you know what I'm saying?
He had full control.
This fight. Control. Anybody who says that Masvidal was gonna win this fight, you picked out of pure emotion. This was a fight that you looked at, you seen on whatever media outlet, social media, whatever it is, and you said, "Oh, Masvidal's gonna win," because Kobe talked about his kids. Kobe talked about everything under the sun, and then went in there and dragged that man through 5 rounds of hell.
Yes.
Like he's supposed to do. I don't know what anybody else thought. If you look at the body of work he put versus Usman, you really thought Masvidal was going to be the one.
6 takedowns.
He's sitting at 76. I think he's 20 behind GSP for all time.
But the crazy part about it is when Masvidal caught Kobe, it's like he could have went in and went for the kill, bro. But the gas tank wouldn't allow him.
It's not there.
The gas tank. So it's just like the overall preparation. It was just not there. Like the level, there's two different levels. And I don't know, maybe that's just heart that just says, you know what, I could beat any guy. But he really got destroyed and smashed that night. He got taken out of his element, as he knew would happen. I don't know if he thought that they was just going to just stand up and box the whole time because he did it with Kamaru. No, he know the threat that you had with your hands. He's not stupid. Yeah. Like that was the if anybody knows what your hands is like, it's him. So it's like,
first and foremost.
But I don't get it. A lot of people they let that promo be hyping their ass up.
Hey, that promo sold it. Pay-per-view promo bought in the bucks, my man.
Yeah, because if motherfuckers really like make it make sense, this is like that shit does not make no sense.
This shit was a landslide on paper, bro.
Exactly. Hey, y'all can have that one. Y'all can have that one for real. Okay, so you want
why Kayla Harrison signed back with the PFL? Why she turned down that UFC contract?
Because she can keep running her M's up. What are you talking about? UFC is not paying her, not a damn M.
But at this point,
unless you were a champion.
But see, my thing is, if she come over here, she's fast tracked to a belt. She already sitting top 5.
O'Connor. You said she already did what?
She's already sitting top 5 if she comes to UFC.
Yeah, but that's the thing. She already has it all laid out for her already. But if she feels like she's the best in the world, she's gonna keep turning up, getting the big money. And then whenever she wants to go to the UFC, she's gonna come straight over there for a title fight. That's the goal. The goal is to come straight over for a title fight, maybe one fight, title fight. But she ain't trying to. She is not. Dana keep knocking her every time like they bring her up. They bring her up, yeah, she's all right. She's a good, she's nice. She's okay. And then start bringing up Amanda Nunes and start bringing up Juliana. So
but see, my thing is that's the bar right now. So we calling Kayla Harrison the best, and I'm not saying that she's not. But what's the measuring stick at this point? What are we measuring that? The best in PFL? That's cool. But what's the promotion? It's UFC. If you want to be recognized as the best throughout, it's UFC. Not saying Bellator doesn't have dogs. Not saying PFL or One or any of that doesn't have dogs. No disrespect to them at all. But the grand all be all is the UFC. Mm-hmm. You call yourself the best, you got to win in the UFC. It's time for you. Because my thing is, what I don't want to happen is I don't want her to catch some type of freak injury or something like that, and she's not able to compete in the UFC now. Now it's all these what ifs. What could have been? I would have did this. This would have went down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to know the madness behind. If it's a money thing, fine. But listening to her conversations, she's hell-bent on being the best. Considered one of the best, or if not the best. The best fight the best.
But the thing about it is, like, when you are your own entity, you got that opportunity to either wait and say, you know what, I don't want to go here because I want to get more money and gain this fame, because regardless, to her, is probably not about the fame. It's about, her getting her money because she knows that she's the best. She constantly takes out the competition at her level. And whenever people are ready to come over to where she's at, then that's when she's willing to play that game. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people are not willing to play that game, and they like, you know what? I'm just ready. I want to go to the UFC because I want to get to fight the best competition. That's probably not her prerogative. Her prerogative is probably to get paid right now because she feel like she is fighting excellent competition. And then it just riles up everybody else the more every W she gets. So that's why I'm saying, like, she's in an excellent spot. And I said it many shows ago that if she ever comes into the UFC, she's going to be making way more than what Amanda Nunes does.
Probably, yeah.
That's facts.
I agree with that.
Even if she comes in not a champion, not as a UFC champion, like comes in with and has to do at least one or two fights, like
Michael Chandler.
Damn, I wanted to say it. I knew it. I knew it. Just
I
like
was
Chandler.
with you. I was with you.
Just
yeah.
like Chandler. They would do something like that. But Chandler lost his belt before he came. So they have to do something different.
Okay. And this is not to be funny. Has Chandler won a fight since he's been in UFC?
Yeah. Beat Dan Hooker. He got all the clout. He got all
the
clout.
And they got him knocked out.
He got every drop of clout that you could get from a fight. He got all
lost it all. Lost it all 6 months later.
Well, not really, because like
that was the fastest fall because he's not relevant right now.
It was either. I think if he seriously fought Justin Gaethje, then I think that he would have won.
I mean, Gaethje finna. I think Gaethje gonna lose to Oliveira, and
Absolutely.
I think Oliveira gonna end up fighting Islam. Islam gonna dominate.
Yeah.
You know what I love about Islam? He was talking. He had an interview, and he was just casually talking like, "Yeah, you know, I get the lightweight belt, defend it 3 to 5 times, move up to welterweight, take that belt." I'm like, it's the mind. It's not even the skill of these guys, of these Dagestan guys. It's the mindset. It's like, I know I'm better than you, and I'm gonna come in this bitch and smash you, and I dare you to do something about it. It's a clan. Nobody wants to say Habib starting a clan. He's taking shit over. He already got his own promotion, Eagle FC. I can already see down the line because Dana loves Habib. I can see them working together, and I can see an infiltration. You know, Habib will somehow land a big gig or some type of powerful role within UFC, and then end up handpicking his guys from Eagle FC, kind of like a development league type shit. You know what I'm saying? And just end up handpicking talent. I mean, I can see the story.
That's possible.
I could definitely see the story, and it would make a great one. Because he picking out talent. He finding all the talent for real. If I was everybody, I would want Habib as my coach. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you have to be in the gym with him for a minute. I think when it comes to like coaches and stuff like that, once you like build a relationship and shit,
oh yeah.
That's what
I think he only does family.
It seemed like it, but I seen him coach other people too. Like
Really? Outside of family? Okay.
Yeah, like the other dude.
Like if he could get with Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I think
welterweight on lock, bro.
I think if he spent more time with DC, I think he'll be good. That's it. Like, like DC is elite wrestler. Like,
and they all in the same gym anyway.
Yeah.
Shout out to AKA
in the States.
Yeah. Shout out to AKA.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm
bro, hold on real quick before we go. We would be remiss if we didn't mention Kane, man. I know you seen the news about Velasquez and
Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
shout out
crazy.
to Derek. First of all, shout out to Derek Brunson.
For putting money up.
Derek Brunson, he jumped on that quick.
Yeah. I mean, like, hey, if
it just goes to show you
if that shit true, then a lot of people would do the same thing.
Yeah, you don't fuck with family. Free that man. Free that man. Tell us backwards. Which is that man free for all of y'all who don't know. Sometimes you gotta put quick disclaimers out.
Real shit. You got to. But yeah, that's what you got, bro. That's all. We're gonna chop it up, and we're gonna get back into it. We're gonna come back at y'all with the UFC Fight Night Santos Ankalaev. The card is gonna be dummy. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Like Tafon Nichuku, I think it's Nichuku, and Chris Montuno.
Terrence Judo. My boy is fighting.
Miranda Maverick, Trevin Jones. Like, it's going up. Gideon Robertson. It is going up. Alex Pereira is going up.
Oh gosh.
Drew Dober, Terrence McKinney going.
We get this for free? We get this for free?
This for free. Khalil Roundtree. Sadiq Youssef versus
Alex Caceres.
What's his name? Bruce Leroy.
Yes.
Bruce Leroy. Song Yadong versus Marlon Morales. Like, what the hell y'all got going on? Y'all threw a hit together. All right.
Y'all threw a little low-key banger together too. And you know what? I was driving home
And the
and
prelim
I'm
start
like,
too.
when is Pereira gonna fight again?
It's here.
And it's here.
For the Freezy.
Chris Mutino.
Been waiting to see him.
Mutino.
Been waiting for him to get his shit back together. 'Cause I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a while for he back.
Yeah, that's
a while
the
after that fight with Sugar Sean.
yeah. I'm about to say that's the one Sugar Sean beat on for no reason.
Yeah, just did that.
But shout out to him because I feel like he about to come back and show us something. So
we'll see. We'll
Sugar
see.
Show, stay locked in.
On God, it's the RoundHouse RoundTable. We out of here.
Yo.
That's why I use the heat as a sword. Cause keep the peace as a boy. They go keys for you. Say please. That's one, please. Don't need. No one, that's two, please. Don't leave. That's 3, 4. If you do